Hi everyone, welcome to Sprints. Hello, hello. Welcome to Monday Night Sprints, where we do reading, productivity, chore list, relaxation, whatever you are up to doing, planning on. Let me know what you're up to tonight. This is Monday Night Sprints, so we will do typically 3-hour-long sprints and hang out, chat in between, and then go from there. Sometimes the last one gets a little shorter, just depending on how tired I am and what time it is. But yeah, that is the typical plan. I am going to be doing some reading tonight and we're going to try to do a mix of productivity and cozy gaming because my plan is to listen to City of Stairs. I have finished Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies today. I didn't mean to finish that today. I meant to switch back and forth all day, but what happened was I got carried away and I ended up finishing the book. So this is finished. So City of Stairs is really my only current read right now. And then I started to get a phone call and I was like, please don't ring on my laptop as well. So City of Stairs. And then I've recently gotten back on my Disney Dreamlight kick. So I will be doing that. And if my computer can handle it, I might switch back and forth between gaming, doing a little editing, and then I also need to try to get my laundry from downstairs because it should be done drying today since I did it on Saturday afternoon. So that is kind of my plan. Let's say hello and see who's here. We have a Glenda. Hello, Glenda. And a Tennille. And Hillary. Hello, hello. Tennille's here for as long as my power stays on. We're having snow, freezing rain, and wind, and the radio said expect outages. Oof, I hope that your power stays on so you can stay warm and safe and all of those good things. I live on the East Coast in Pennsylvania, and we were predicted to have 4 to 6. They kept changing it. It was all over the place. The forecast for my area was literally they're the memes that are 1 to 2 feet. It literally changed from 10 to 12 inches to nothing, and then back to 6, and then back to 4. It was all over the place. We got 2 inches of snow. So I'm glad that it missed us, honestly, because I don't want a lot of snow. But Danielle, I hope you don't get literally all of that because that is a lot of weather. So yeah, but yeah, it's been a wild storm. It came out of nowhere, I think. Hello, Anne. Gonna do some eyeball reading to Ride a Rising Storm. Very nice. Hey, Jess. Need to do some video editing. I need to get to this. I have a vlog that I'm trying to put together, and I have all the clips, but I'm trying to edit it a little bit each night this week so that I can get it out at the end of the week, and then it's not too much all at once. But we'll see if that happens tonight, or if my computer starts to sound like it's taking off for space, because sometimes that happens too. So I wish you luck. Hello. Hello, Ro. How are you? The dogs have urgent needs at this moment. I'll be back presently. Sounds good. And more hellos. I'll be reading Bitter and Sweet by Rhonda McKnight. I'm on page 210 of 359. So you are in the second half. You're getting closer to the end. Very nice. Aiden Thomas' debut is so good. Oh, I don't know what their debut is. Is it Cemetery Boys? I think it was. Yeah, it is. It's so good. I read it last year. Oh, I bet. Okay, I think I saw you comment on my reel about that from last fall. Yes, it is. It's so good. I had such a good time reading that. I'm disappointed in myself that I took so long to wait to read it, but also I read it very close to when the now sequel is coming out. So I'm a little happy about that too, that it all kind of worked out that way. I think it's so cool that New York City Public Schools had a snow day today. I think that's really probably a good idea just based on the not the forecast, but the photos and like what is actually kind of coming out of this storm for them, it seemed like they got hit pretty hard. So I'm glad that the kids got to just like, and teachers and support staff and everyone just got to stay home, stay safe, not try to scramble to get something together, because they weren't really sure about this storm up until like the very last minute of how it was going to hit. So I'm really glad that it worked out that way. They're saying anywhere from 10 to 40 centimeters, which is 4 to 16 inches. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's the forecasts were literally all over the place, from dusting to feet, and like in a pretty small area, like over on the coast of New Jersey and New York and stuff. They were saying like multiple feet of snow, but then for us it was just all over. So I'm glad it's passed. I'm glad we didn't get as much as they were calling for, but it kind of messed with all of our plans. Hillary is reading The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. Hillary, are you liking this? I am torn about. I think I will probably read this book at some point, but I think I gave the first book a 5 stars, and like looking back on it now, I think I probably would have given it like a high 4, but it didn't stick with me quite the way sometimes 5 stars do. That I'm just like, I think I'm going to borrow this one from the library before I like pick it up and add it to my collection, just because I loved the first one in a lot of ways, but some of it didn't stick. You know how it goes. It's like I'm just a little hesitant about it, and I've heard some mixed things. Tennille's aiming to finish a small / lap-sized Afghan and work on Bonesmith or The Fated Sun Book 2. Very nice. Is this one of your, I know you mentioned on Crafty Sprints that you had like 3 or 4 Afghans going, and then you were like starting a new shiny project. Is this one of those like older projects that you're trying to get done? Shannon says, happy Monday. Yes, happy Monday. I'm going to be reading Play Dead by Anne Fraser. I'm not usually a thriller person, so reading early in the night is better. I get this. But first, we'll be doing some organizing / adulting. Very nice, very nice. A little bit of split between the responsibilities and the fun. Cemetery Boys was his published debut, but technically he sold Lost in the Neverwoods first, and then they decided to finish and publish Cemetery Boys. Once you go back and read Lost in the Neverwood, it shows. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I should try that one too. I really enjoyed Cemetery Boys, and I'd like to read more from Aiden Thomas, but I pick up YA pretty like sparsely at this point, through no fault of anyone but me. Just like I've started to like kind of transition to wanting adult titles more often. So I just I feel like that's part of it, that I just kind of pick up YA in a bit of a sparse way. So, but I do want to read more from him, because Cemetery Boys was so good. Adorable so far, only 9% in. Very nice. This is the new shiny one. I love that. Chunky yarn with a 9mm hook, so it works up fast. Very nice. I liked Aiden Thomas's The Sun Bear Trials. Yeah, see, that's another, I know he has that other duology that I would like to try. So, The Endless TBR. Welcome back in. I hope the dogs all made it. The Cemetery Boys sequel comes out later this year. Yes, I'm very excited, because like, I was saying Cemetery Boys was fresh in my brain from just reading it last fall, and I loved it. I couldn't stop reading it. And it also made me cry like multiple times. Like, from the description, you kind of know where that story is going, and there's just a lot of emotions in it. It's really good. Bonesmith is YA and was working well for the first 10 chapters, but now we have a spoiled, bratty prince that the main character is attracted to. Things may go downhill. Sometimes like, I feel like I just sometimes get to the point where like I know that teenagers sometimes act that way, or like, I was a teenager, I know I acted that way or sometimes, but and I enjoyed that dynamic sometimes when I was a teenager, but not always now. Readin, Aiden, Polydoros, the city beautiful. I don't know what this is, Ro. The cover is cool. Chicago, 1983. Fantasy, historical fiction, YA, queer, alters best friends, late victim. Oh, so it's like murder, mystery, like kind of like maybe. Oh, there's a lot of like paranormal-y vibes. Oh, I'm gonna add that to my Goodreads TBR and keep track of that one because that has a lot of buzzwords in it for me. So Rose always coming in with the recommendations that I haven't heard of, but I need to read. So excellent, excellent. Okay, so we are just about at the 15-minute mark. So I am gonna get ready to put us into our first 60-minute sprint. And then we will come back, do a little more chatting, and see how everybody did. But I will see you all in 60 minutes. Hello, everyone. How was your sprint? What did you get up to? Were you reading? If you joined us while we were away, what are you up to this evening? I was mostly just here. I did remember to go down and get my laundry, so that will be a thing to put away at some point in the sprints. I didn't keep track of how much of City of Stairs I read, but I did listen to a little bit of it while I played my Switch and kind of just hung out here. What else did I do? Oh, I responded to some messages, trying to get some things arranged for buddy reads and reading next month. So trying to stay on top of that. But yeah, that was pretty much my sprint. I'm still really enjoying City of Stairs. I'm having a really good time with it. I feel like I'm almost to the halfway point at this stage, and there's just a lot of really interesting political machinations, some really interesting like world building. Urban fantasy in general is my favorite type of fantasy, and this is very much like an interesting blend of urban fantasy, high fantasy, just like really interesting setting and world building. So I'm having a good time. But let's see how everyone did. Hillary left us for a bit, going out on a walk. So hopefully she'll be back to update us on how her walk went. See you later, Hillary. Hello, Jamie. Just finished work and will be reading my daily chapter of The Count of Monte Cristo to start. Very nice. Hello, Paula. Just popping in to hug the like button. Thank you so much. I am also sprinting, so I can't stay, but I did point. Oh, thank you so much. I'm going to have to pop over and say hello. Hello, Molly. Tennille finished the Afghan. Very nice. Excellent. And made it to chapter 12/page 122 of Bonesmith. Very nice. Very productive sprint. Might switch to the Faded Sun in the next sprint. Yeah, sounds good. I think I'll probably stick with this tonight. We'll see as I get deeper into the evening, because it is a lot of characters to keep track of, and well, maybe not a lot of characters, but like a lot of details to keep track of. So might be something I need to switch away from as we get deeper into the night. But for now, we're going to keep going with City of Stairs. I did some things now I have absolutely no memory of. I got about 25 pages into to ride a rising storm. Very nice. Yeah, sometimes that happens to me too during sprints. I'm just like, what did I do at like minute 1 of the sprint? Did I do anything in the first 10 minutes? Because I know I didn't sit here and read the whole time. But what did I do? Where did I go? Yay for enjoying urban fantasy / high fantasy goodness. No reading yet, but I have some potatoes roasting in the oven and did some kitchen tidying. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I just love urban fantasy. Like, I'm trying this year to read a bit more high fantasy, but I love a cityscape fantasy. Like, I love it. It's my favorite. So, and roasting potatoes sounds excellent. So I hope that your probably dinner is delicious. Jess was absolutely not productive. I sat under a blanket with Raja on my lap and listened to some music. That sounds very relaxing. And Jess, rest and relaxation is also productive. Sometimes we just need it. And I mean, a Raja cuddle sounds like a delight, which we all think so. It was nice, but also, why is it cold again? I thought we were having spring. I know. I've seen so many like memes and reels of people who were like, and I felt this way too. We had just gotten through a spell where like the snow pack had melted and I'm seeing grass again, and it was like in the 40s / low 50s for us for a few days. A little more mild for our friends who are familiar with Celsius. Like, it was a little more mild rather than it being around freezing. And then then it got cold again. I know you probably saw me get up and get my blanket while we were sprinting because all of a sudden I got so cold. So, but I'm really hoping that this is the last bit of snow we're going to get. I mean, it's already the end of February. Sometimes we'll get a March storm, but not super often. So I'm hoping spring is coming. I'm just tired of being cold. If I had a Raja, I would definitely be less productive and would love it. Yes, I agree. If I had a Raja, I would snuggle much more than I would be productive. Because when I visit my friend who has a cat who is very loving, I don't get anything done. I pet him. I'm introducing my IR. Oh, I am. I'm introducing my IRL friend to audiobooks. We are listening to chapter 1 of Gideon the Ninth tomorrow. I had to figure all that out. That's really cool. That's very fun. I love when I get to introduce someone to audiobooks. My go-to recommendation for people is if they're trying to get into audiobooks is Sabriel by Garth Nix. It's like if you're unfamiliar, it's like a late 90s, early 2000s, like high fantasy, like probably young adult fantasy. And Tim Curry, like from Rocky Horror Picture Show, Clue, all the fame, he does the audiobook, and it is absolutely phenomenal. Like that is what one of my friends introduced me to audiobooks with. Like that is the recommendation she gave me to start with audiobooks, and it got me hooked. I didn't look back. I absolutely loved it, and the performance is just legendary. Like he does so many amazing voices and brings out such emotions in that book, and it's so well done. So, but the Gideon the Ninth audiobook is also really excellent. So I hope you have fun reading that. There's been so many Raja cuddles lately. The next 2 reading vlogs I put out are mostly me just fighting off cuddles while I try to film. That's fair. She's such a lover. Our snowpack had not melted. We still had 2 inches of ice in most walkways and snow coverings, everything. And now more snow and freezing rain. Ugh, I'm so sorry, Teniel. Like we had like basically like 3 or 4 inches left, everywhere. And then we got a small like rain front that came through for like 2 days, and that really took care of most of it. Otherwise we would still have it. Like it's just been one of those winters. We have another 6 inches of snow already in this storm and are supposed to get a lot overnight, and it's supposed to snow most of the week. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. I'm so sorry, Teniel. I really hope that your power like stays on and you can stay warm and everything. That is awful. That's terrible. We had about 2 days of no snow on the ground, and then bam. Yes, exactly. Like it fully was gone for like a second, just gone, and then now we have it again. Percy Jackson was my first audiobook. We got it to listen to in a car trip with the fam. Yes, that's a fun one too. I do love the Percy Jackson books. I was just thinking, Margaret was just talking about rereading, I think it was the 3rd book when we were on sprints or when she was in a vlog or something, and I was like, I need to reread those at some point because the series is just so fun. I need to try those audiobooks. I read them all physically. I didn't care for Clariel or Golden Hand, but I had a great time with Sabriel, Lyriel, and Aborson, and Terciel and Eleanor, I think is how you say it. The original trilogy, Sabriel, Lyriel, and Aborson are my favorites. Like I read them quite frequently. I'm not a huge fan of the newer 3 books that he put out. I think out of those ones, I liked Clariel the best. I don't quite remember. I've only read each of them once, but the audiobooks of that original trilogy are so good. I don't think Tim Curry does the newer ones. I don't think, because was hoping he would, but I don't think his health is good enough that he is doing like voice acting and stuff anymore. So I think it's someone else, but they're pretty. They found someone who's kind of in the same vein for them. But yeah, the OG three are just so good, so good. My intro to audiobooks were celebrity memoirs read by the authors, and I got used to those, and then magically regular audiobooks started working too. I mean, that's a great way to do it too, because one of the first ones I listened to was a Carrie Fisher memoir, and she did such a good job that was also a great introduction for me, because like you're used to those voices, you're used to celebrity, kind of, I don't want to say acting because they're not acting, but voice acting, that voice narration. So that's a great introduction too. I was lukewarm on Gideon, but I read the ebook the first time around. I hear the audiobooks are good and hoping it amps it up for me. Yeah, I would like to go back. I really need to reread Gideon before I get into the other two, but I've kind of just been putting it off because there's no like date for the fourth book. Like there's no real release timeline for Alecto. So I've just kind of been waiting until I hear a little bit more solid information, because I feel like it's one of those series that it's complex enough that I would want to, go back and really understand what's going on when the next book comes out. So I'm trying to balance waiting versus being anxious to go back to the series because I really liked the first book. I think my first audiobook was Murderbot 1, the graphic audio. Very nice. I have read the Murderbot books, but I think I've only read the I think it's Kevin Free that does them. I didn't do the graphic audio for those, but Murderbot's a weird one for me because I have listened to books 1 and 2 each twice. Like I've borrowed the audiobooks and listened to each of those books twice, and I remember like nothing about them. They just do not stick in my brain. And I don't know why, because I read them, I like them, I rate them, I move on to the next book, and then something interrupts me after the second book, and I'm like, what happened? So I'm always like, I'll go back and reread them. They're so short, but then I don't continue on. So maybe I should just read the third book and because I think at least from the first two, they're kind of independent, that I could probably just pick it up and keep moving. But you kind of want to remember what was going on. Carrie was one of my first two. She was a gem. Yes, her. And I think one of the second ones I listened to was Michelle Obama and her Becoming memoir. And those two women are just incredible. So listening to their memoirs was so interesting. But yeah, so lots of different ways to get into an audiobook. But I feel like the celebrity route, the favorite childhood book or something like that, they're both pretty typical ways to do it. But I had not read Sabriel. I kind of missed that in childhood, and I had always owned a copy of Abhorsen that I got at a Scholastic book fair. We were talking about Scholastic book fairs somewhere else recently. I think it was on Crafty Sprints on Saturday. But anyway, I had picked that up accidentally, not knowing it was the third book in the series. It was just a little mass market paperback that I had for years and years and years, and I had never actually read the series. And then when my friend recommended me the audiobooks, I picked it up and just devoured those 3 books. So it's just funny how young me was correct to pick up that book. Just young me did not know how to find the first 2 books in the series to make it make any sense. Because I carried that book with me, through a lot of stuff. I kept taking it with me thinking I would read it, and then I never did, because I would start it and I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And now I know why, because it was the third book in the series. But, alrighty. I think we will jump into our second sprint here, and then we will have a little more time to do our reading and productivity, whatever else we have going on. So I will start us on another 60 minutes, and I will see you at the end. Hello, everyone. How was your sprint? What did you get up to? Let us know how you did. So I read a little more of City of Stairs. I'm actually at a very pivotal moment, I feel like. I'm going to get a big reveal here. Like we're really building towards something. I'm just over the 50% mark, so I'm really invested right now. Played a little more Disney Dreamlight. I went and got, if you see like this, like I have like a ice pack on my shoulder. I've been kind of dealing with some shoulder issues, so I went and got my ice pack to kind of do the icing for the rest of the evening that I need to. What else did I do? Not much. Mostly I sat here and played my game and read my book, which was good because we're getting to this like very interesting part of the story. So I had a good time. Let's see who joined us. I know that Andrea stopped in and said hello. I hope her packing is going well. I don't know. I was wondering about this the other day because I was feeling like I was either not getting comments through, or then later I was feeling like comments were not appearing. So yeah, if I miss comments or if I don't say something, like go ahead and say it again, and hopefully YouTube won't eat it, because unfortunately there's something going on. I feel like it started, I don't know if it started, I should say I started noticing it after that week. There was like a week or so ago that there was like a big outage on YouTube, and I started to really notice it then. So I'm wondering if something they were doing was either to recover from that, or they were trying to update something during that it really messed with things, because it really has been weird lately. Let's see. Tennille started the Fated Sun book 2 and decided I wasn't in the mood for it, so I intend to start a reread of By the Sword and got to page 43. Very nice. Little switcher up. I think I'm going to try to get to, I'm almost to the end of the section that I want to read right now in City of Stairs, and after that I might switch over to First Time Caller by B.K. Borison for the last sprint, because I kind of want to start to wind down for the evening. And while this is really exciting and really interesting in City of Stairs, I also would like to kind of start to wind down for the evening. So that might be what I switch to. But I'm glad you found something you're in the mood for, Tennille. I got exactly Jack done. Had some ice cream, bought a couple of things I needed, and then pretty much doom scrolled. Hey, I actually had a snow day today. Even though we didn't get as much snow as like they were calling for, they had canceled, like closed the campus that I work at, and it was fine, except I doom scrolled a lot today about just lots of things, but mainly the like US hockey drama, because ever since I read Heated Rivalry, that's in my algorithm, so I got really wrapped up in that. But yeah, I definitely spent more time doom scrolling today than I meant to, so I feel this. Still no reading yet, but got my grocery order in, enjoyed the roasted potatoes and leftovers are cooling off, more kitchen tidy, officially done adulting today. I get this, Shannon. I feel like that like period between you getting home, getting through dinner, and like cleaning up, doing like any other chores you have to do, it's just like I want to be done with my adult duties that I can go do what I want. And so yeah, I totally feel that. It's usually why I don't get to reading until like when I start sprints or later in the evening. Even sometimes I don't ever get to it, just because there's so much things to do. Once I crack the seal on the phone, the black hole opens. Yes, it's like once I open it once, I can't stop opening it. Like, and then I'm just switching back and forth between apps, or I'm closing Instagram and then I'm immediately opening it again. So I totally understand. Yeah, totally. City of Stairs does ramp up later on. Yes, I feel like this I'm in the section, the chapter that I'm in, I feel like has really ramped up like the action and the reveals and stuff. The chapter is called Survivors, and it just this section has really like gotten more. How do I say? There's been a few more reveals, a few more connections, a little more like background that is becoming relevant currently, and all of those things. So there's just a lot going on, and I'm having a good time. I like to switch between books for different flavors in general. It's getting later, so a reread works. I had been planning on rereading this in March anyway. Very nice. Yeah, I feel like once I get to this point in the evening, I need something that's a little less, just a little less brain work. I mean, sometimes a book will pull you in and it doesn't feel like brain work, but because I'm like kind of splitting my attention, I kind of want to just wind down a bit. So, but I'm glad you got to something that, you were planning to read anyway. You can kind of just, switch to that and not have to worry about pushing through your other read and all of those things. So, a good decision, not to, you don't want to push and put yourself in a reading slump or anything if you're not in the mood for the other book. But okay, I think we will switch it up for this last sprint and only do a 45. I'm just feeling a little tired, so I think we'll do that. So that after sleeping in the past few days with the weekend and everything and having a snow day today, I'm gonna have to get up at regular time for work tomorrow, so I feel like I should get to bed on time and everything, get my good wind down time. Hillary's back. Got back from my walk, showered, and made it to 18%. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So let's see. So that'll take us to right before 10. So that of 10 my time. So I think that'll work out nicely. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to add before we go into sprints, but I think that is probably going to be it. My head is hurting, so I think I'm going to call it. Yeah, good night, Anne. Jen? I'm so sorry, Anne. Good night, and I hope you have a good rest of your evening and that you can get some rest and your head will ease, your pain will ease. Yeah, take care. Have a good rest of your night. And on that note, I am going to put us into our final sprint, and I will see you in 45. Hello, everyone. How was your sprint? Let me know how you did. Let me know what you did for our last sprint of the evening. Let's take down this guy. I hit 51% of First Time Caller by BK Borison. And this is my first BK Borison, and I am, having a grand time. Honestly, having a really good time. I'm enjoying this a lot. It's dual narration, I think it's an audiobook. And like I have two narrators and it's dual perspective, which honestly is ideal for me. So I'm having a great time. I'll probably listen to a little bit more of this as I wind down for bed, play a little more Disney Dreamlight. I just spent most of these sprints organizing my storage in Disney Dreamlight because it was out of control. And I didn't know where anything was. So that's what I did. I figured out where to put all of my vegetables and building materials and all that good stuff. So, but I plan on doing a little more before I go to sleep, but it's definitely time. I'm about to pumpkin, as Brittany would say. So I am gonna go to bed soon. Hillary made it to 23%. It's starting to pull at my heartstrings and I'm really enjoying it. Very nice. Oh, I love that. I'm excited to hear what you think as you get through it because, like I said, I'm very curious about it. I think, let's see, we will have more sprints next Monday, I believe. So, it's the perfect speed. Oh, but you don't know what it is. Okay. It is a game on I play it on Nintendo Switch. I'm actually not quite sure if it is available on any other platform. I'm sure it is, but I also don't know for sure. That you build your own character. So it's kind of like The Sims in that way. Oh, I got some comments. So, but it's you're in this valley, so you just have this big open space, and you kind of build these different worlds that are based on Disney kind of like one is very similar to the Lion King, like the Sahara Desert, and there's a forest and there's a beach, and you build all these different like areas, and then through different quests and tasks you start to unlock characters from the Disney worlds. So like I have Cinderella, I have who else do I have? Ursula, the Lion King characters, kind of all these different characters, and then they ask you to do tasks for them as well, and you gather stuff. It's a bit like I think it's a bit like Animal Crossing. It's a bit like I forget what the other one is called that's pixelated. It's a bit like The Sims, just that kind of like cozy, like task-based game. It's very much my speed because there is some instruction. There's Stardew Valley is the other one I was thinking of. That one is too open world for me. Animal Crossing is a little too open world for me, that I need more direction than those games give me. So it's kind of where I'm at, but it's fun and it's very relaxing, and I can just kind of run around and build things and cook things and talk to characters and stuff and accomplish a few things. But it's a nice like evening game, I think. I'm buddy reading it with Neva. I'm excited to hear what she thinks when I check in with her tomorrow. Very nice. I'll be interested to see what Neva thinks too, because I don't know how much cozy she reads, and this feels very cozy to me. So interesting. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. YouTube needs to get figured out. I read a bit more of By the Sword and then watched a YouTube video. My eyes were too tired to read anymore. Yeah, Totally understandable. I only know what The Sims looked like because a friend played it in university in the dorm more than 20 years ago. I'm not up on the games. That's totally fine. That's totally fair. Yeah, Sims is another game that sometimes I play, but my laptop can't quite handle it anymore. It's a little too old and can't quite run it the way it should be run, so I don't play it too often. But on my Switch and stuff, it's a very like relaxing. Yeah, it's low stress. You can kind of just do what you want. There's no like timing to it. There's no competition to it. It's very chill, and it's like a farming and building and all that type of thing. It's very very relaxed, which I like in my games. Sometimes I like a more high intensity game, but especially on my Switch when I can just like lay on the couch or sit in my computer chair, it's very, very low stress. So, yeah, but I think that's where we will end for the evening. I'm gonna continue to do Monday night sprints. I should have 2 videos up for you all this week. I'm planning on doing my TBR either Wednesday or Thursday, depending on how quickly I can get it put together. And then the last day of the month should be my bingo board vlog for the month, which is kind of in place of my wrap up. So that's the plan for this week. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks everybody who's lurking or, hanging out in the background. I can't. Okay. Now StreamYard is freaking out. Sounds like it's time for me to go to bed. But thanks everybody, and I will see you next week.